Hi, welcome back to Fed Up Over 50. I'm Susan, and today I'm doing a video on my 3-week weight loss update. And also, I want to discuss a measurement that is more concerning to me than the number on the scale. So before I get into that, I just wanted to post what I look like beyond from my chest up and just show you what I'm starting with before I lost too much weight. I didn't take any new before pictures. I have a bunch of old ones, but there is no way I am posting pictures of myself in my underwear. So here's what I look like, front, side, and back, everything. So now week 3, how did it go? Well, I hit my step goal of 8,000 steps every day and had a few days where I went over 10,000 steps. So that goal is working out well, and I find now that I want to move more and I'm feeling better. So it's not unusual now for me to hit those 10,000 steps. But for the remainder of this month and one more week, 8,000 is the goal. And then when it comes to my calories, I had 1,860 calories, and that was what my Lose It app gave me as a goal. And I'm having a hard time hitting that number. In fact, I had 3 days where I was only in the 14 to 1,500 range. And when I looked back on what I was doing, I had front-loaded my day with a heavy breakfast. I really wasn't interested in lunch because I ate so well at breakfast, and I had a reasonable but hearty dinner, and that satisfied me, and I didn't need to snack. So like I said in my last video, I'm really taking the time to tune into my body and respect the cues it's giving me, hunger cues, cravings cues. And if I'm not hungry, I'm not going to force the issue, and I'm not going to eat. But I'm not forcing myself to eat less. So as far as last week goes, I stayed well within my calorie budget. So another goal met for the week. So I'm happy about that. So what was the result? Well, as of this morning, which is April 10th, 2025, I weighed in at 225 pounds. So that is a weight loss of 3.3 pounds since last week. So I had a great week. I think one of the reasons why I had such a great loss last week was because I was watching my sodium, which has been an issue. I have a tendency to hold on to a lot of water. And for the past couple months, my ankles and feet have been swollen. My shoes are tight. Now I have ankles again, and my shoes are fitting much better. So I realized some of that 3.3 was probably my body releasing water, but that's fine. That is absolutely fine. So for the next week, I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing. The Lose It app gave me a new calorie budget of 1,804 for the weight, since I lost some weight, and I'm sticking with that. That's fine. It's working. Like I said, it's very hard for me to get over that 1,860. And mainly because I'm eating healthy food. I'm eating real food. So, if I was just eating like I used to, garbage, chips, cookies, all that stuff, then I had no problem going up to 3,000 or more calories a day. So you choose better food, eat healthier. It's easy to stay in a deficit. Okay. So the number that concerns me the most, more than the number on the scale, is the size of my waist. Now in my before picture, you can see I'm very apple-shaped. And back in my 20s and 30s and early 40s, my big concern was the size of my thighs. I had a little belly on me, but it wasn't that bad. Come the 40s, later 40s, 50s, and now pushing 60, my waist size as of this morning is 46 inches, and that is really high. I know I've seen stuff on the American Heart Association website about waist size for women shouldn't be any more than 35, and so 35 inches and under is best for women. Otherwise, you have greater risk for heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and other issues. So a lot of it's that deep visceral fat that wraps around your organs, and it's a negative. So beyond the scale, I am looking to get my waistline first just to 35 inches, and we'll see from there. I used to have a goal weight. I'm not concerned with that number on the scale anymore. I'm concerned with health factors and numbers. So moving forward, again, I'm going to keep focusing on the whole foods, limiting ultra processed foods, not taking anything away, but just limiting them. And this is working out really well. I feel very, very satisfied with what I'm eating. And I'm finding that the desire for snacks is minimal. And if I do feel a little bit hungry in between meals, yogurt and fruit with a little cereal sprinkled on the top, or a Premier Protein shake seems to satisfy that. So my meals are protein heavy with some carbs, with some fruit or vegetables. And when it comes to any kind of fats, I limit that. I limit oil. I use just very sparingly. I always measure it. And I do like a little butter on my English muffins, so I'm not saying no to butter. I just make sure that that is measured. I would say if you're somebody who's at that point where you're like, I don't want to count calories, I don't want to do points. Yes, I need to lose weight, but I just can't deal with this calorie restriction business. I would say just work on one meal at a time and work on your plate. Focus it around protein that you enjoy, and limit those things that are more ultra processed. Just work on your plate and fill it up with the good stuff, and keep those little delicious things like mac and cheese or something that's a higher calorie or fat content to a smaller portion. Don't take anything away. Start crowding out the bad stuff with the good stuff. And I think you're going to start feeling a lot better, because we are trying to change that whole diet mentality of I'm being good, I'm being bad, I'm on a diet, I'm off a diet, this is a good food, this is a bad food. It's food. And it's only good or bad if you're abusing it or you're out of control with it. But you can make adjustments. That's what I'm doing. I'm just start trusting your body. Start taking a minute to think before you eat, and work on that process. So we're sticking to the plan, and I look forward to checking back in with you next week for week 4. And if you're liking this content, please like and subscribe. And I appreciate all the comments people have been leaving, and the support and the encouragement. So until next week, have a great day. Bye-bye.